I love that I am confirmed and you are not. That is the funniest thing ever.
I can take the class. I think they do it on Thursdays. Unfortunately.
Are you going to get your church GED? Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, and forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about Florida Girls. Florida Girls went 10 episodes with only one season on Pop TV. Here we're talking about episode 1, which was called Pilot, originally airing July 10th, 2019. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me, as always, the boys. Most of the boys, Joe, Gordo, and Nick. What's going on, guys?
Heyo.
Rick looks good.
Florida Girls. This is Joe's pick.
Technically, it is my wife's pick. This is a show she very much liked, and I was thinking of shows to do, and I was like, is there anything that you would do that you think everyone else on the podcast would absolutely hate? And she said, I know just the show. And you know what? I thought when you guys were talking about this in the chat before I'd watched it, that I was like, oh, this is going to be so funny. I'm going to fucking hate this. This is going to be so good. At like 5 minutes into the show, I got a chuckle. And 7 minutes into the show, I laughed so hard I was crying at a scene. And I was like, well, this is going to become way more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, to peel back the curtain a little bit, when Jay finished watching it, he denounced it as the worst thing he's ever seen. So I went into it with like a pretty bad, and it's not that bad, but it's not great.
I can't believe I literally went into this, not to peel back more, but I was talking to my wife. She watched it with me last night while I was taking my notes, and I was like, Gordo and I might have some common ground on this. I bet everybody else is gonna hate it. I thought Jay might be triggered by a few things due to his recent past.
No, not that. But we'll talk about it. And listen, I wasn't my favorite, and we'll go over this. IMDb 6.9, Rotten Tomatoes 85% critics, 72% audience, so it is pretty liked amongst people who watched it.
Can I just say, too, that not before we get to the end, but since this is like a production note that I noticed, why was this filmed in Georgia?
Tax credits. The first 4 seasons of The X-Files are shot in Vancouver, and that whole first 4 seasons, like one episode they're like, we're in Florida, we're in Alabama, but everything was shot in Vancouver because of taxes, so it's just always been the way it is.
Yeah, no, I just found that funny that it was Georgia, but it's a show about Florida.
And this is Clearwater, this is Hogan country, right?
This is, yeah right next to Tampa.
I've spent a good amount of time in Clearwater.
Nick, is this accurate to Clearwater?
Okay, so I've spent a good amount of time in Clearwater, not in these parts, though, so I can't say that.
Nick doesn't go to real Florida. Just like Ferg. Ferg, our resident
I was going to say, our own personal Florida girl who's not here this week.
As someone who's lived in Florida, I could say this is very accurate.
Florida to Ferg is just a giant amusement park. He doesn't know there's other things there,
If you dropped Ferg in, like, the Everglades, he'd be like, where am I? There's no Mickey. Yeah.
Downtown Clearwater is actually fun. It's very kitschy, boardwalky. It's just, it's like not, they don't try to be more than what they are, which I can appreciate. It's just some restaurants on a boardwalk, some stuff to do. It's cool.
I always look up where you can fly directly from Maine because there's not a lot of places. And in the winter, there's like a special to fly in. It's not what city the Red Sox play in.
That is Fort Myers.
Fort Myers. It's not Fort Myers, but it's close to there. And you can fly directly into some small little airport. And I was like, I hate the winter. Maybe we can look into what's there. And like the first 2 things that popped up were like a record store and an all gluten-free restaurant. And I was like, I know we're doing when I'm like mad at the world in February next year.
You should.
So real quick, want to get into a couple things. If you want to watch Florida Girls, it is available on a couple streamers like Tubi and Plex. So a couple of the free ones, you can watch the show. It's so funny. There's so many like shows that are impossible to find, but Florida Girls available on multiple streamers.
Amazon Prime as well.
For free?
Yeah, that's where I watched it. Minimal commercials, but it was free.
Yeah, I cross-referenced. I can certainly verify Tubi. It was on Tubi. I gave that a look. But so it is available if you want to watch it.
Does Pop do any originals anymore? I mean, we were watching Pop because we were early on with Schitt's Creek because we had Pop and people were like, you should check out this show. And this is later in the pop run, but like there was a couple originals in that we never watched, and I don't even know. I don't think we have it in our sling or anything.
I was looking it up earlier. I don't think they have any original programming right now.
Yeah, I don't even know of any.
So to get right into the first scene, it starts with like a few exterior shots. And again, we're talking Clearwater, the Tampa area. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing the nice beachy parts, the parts that you would be as like a visitor or vacationer. And you're seeing the beautiful beaches. And it cuts from there to a girl who's just like sitting on the floor of her room, and she's going through like a bunch of old photos. During all of that, we hear narration, and it's a girl telling you how like they've lived in Florida their whole lives, and when they met, the girls were all 5 years old. They all started drinking at 12 years old, and then they dropped out when they were 16. They never imagined that like one of them would go back to school, get a real job, and then get out of Florida and meet new people and like begin a new story. And then she says, and leave us here to rot. And then the girl who is like looking at photos, you then see her like hugging her friends, the other 4 in the group, get in the car and just hightail it out of there.
Nothing wrong with starting to drink at 12. You can still be a functional, good adult in society afterwards.
I would just like to say, if for some reason there's a 12-year-old listening, it is not okay to drink at 12. You should not be doing that.
Also, I don't think you should be listening.
Yeah, maybe our choice is the best for you.
But also though, I think like 12-year-olds don't even drink anymore. Like,
No.
21-year-olds don't even drink anymore.
I read somewhere recently that Gen Z like is like the least sex-having, alcohol-having generation. Like compared to like Gen X, our generation, and so forth.
boring.
Yeah, bunch of squares.
When we were kids, this is a much longer conversation probably for another day, but all that stuff was so taboo. You knew like you weren't supposed to be around it. We would talk, we would find, little like something with boobs on it and like, woods porn, Joe, you've brought up before, and like these little things, or you'd call like 1-800 big boobs and have a voice be like, hey stud. And like that stuff to you was like wild as a kid. The kids have the internet now. Like everything's at their fingertips. I think like nothing's taboo, and they're so desensitized to it that it's not like something they live their whole like adolescence craving. And in alcohol too, like alcohol was one of those things, like not that kids can drink any earlier, but like they grow up with their parents taking them to breweries now, and now a brewery is like that place that you don't want to go with your parents. So it's like you're not
stuck
cool
drinking a fucking Pepsi while they're
like being at a brewery isn't cool. You know what I mean? It's like it's the place your dad took you your whole childhood. So now it's like it's whatever.
I mean, to be fair, I'm 39 years old and I still think a brewery's not cool.
Well, you're not that cool, so who the fuck are you to gauge anything? So anyways, but yeah, so this girl leaves the group, and now we see like, these other girls going like, wow, so she's leaving us here to fucking rot. And the girl who did the narration wasn't the girl who was leaving, it was the girl who says that at the end. And that is Shelby, who's kind of the main character out of the four of them. And that's Laura Chinn. She's actually the creator and writer of this episode too. So she created the show, wrote this. A lot of this show is kind of loosely based on her actual life. So she was a girl who grew up in this area of Florida. She did start drinking young. She did drop out young, kind of moved off to Hollywood. And this was like her creation, is kind of basing a show loosely on her life.
I think it's an interesting backstory to have, right? To write this this is a very specific thing. You know what I mean? Like this is an experience. This would be hard to write, I feel like, as a fiction versus.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of though like if she didn't leave, like she left in her 20s, she said. And this is kind of like, what if I didn't go? Like this is what my life is, if I'm still there.
I imagine, and again, this is not me throwing shade on Florida, because I do enjoy some Florida, as we discussed earlier. I feel like Florida's a tougher place now too, though, because it's been so fucking rocked by storms in the past few years. We're like world-ending storms, right? Like FEMA trailers for months, no electricity for months type of storms. It seems like Florida is getting like way worse than it ever did for storms and stuff. If I was a kid, I would be so disillusioned if I was there.
Joe, that stuff has been happening for at least 20, 25 years.
No, that last storm that happened a couple of years ago was way worse than anything that ever hit that area.
I went down after Hurricane Charlie in 2004. Because my uncle started a roofing business, why I lived there. Dude, you could walk up on the roof, and you can just see all the FEMA tarps, and then he would give me a bunch of flyers, and he'd say, go walk over to those houses, knock on the door, and hand them flyers. And because FEMA wasn't defunded at that point, I mean, who knows what's going to happen this year?
Is there a FEMA? Is this fee now? Yeah.
Yeah. But the government was just giving people blank checks, and the insurance companies were just giving blank checks. So you as a roofer would be like, I'll repair that shingle for like $250. And they're like, yep, fuck it. Here you go. Insurance pays for it, which I don't think they're doing now.
Which is also why you cannot get insurance in Florida anymore.
Yep.
Because
unless you build a house that's on like 40-foot stilts, you were probably not getting anything reasonable to pay for insurance.
From that scene, we get the, like, it's not like an intro really. It's more like big black screen, Florida girls written in gigantic white letters written over it. And you kind of have this, I don't know, I feel like the whole soundtrack to this show and all the in-between music and stuff is all this kind of like hip-hop fused with techno stuff. I don't even know how to classify the genre, but that's like what's being played the entire time.
has anybody seen, I think I may have brought it up on this show before, but has anybody seen The Real Bros of Simi Valley?
It came up. It came up when we did Hot Wives of Orlando.
Yeah, with Jimmy Tatro. This has similar vibes. And it's almost a bad thing because that was like kind of started as a pretty independent thing by Jimmy Tatro himself, and I think he kind of just like did a lot of it on his own. And this was, done by seemingly a studio, and it has a very similar vibe to it.
Our next scene, we see everybody, and now they're like inside of their apartment. They all live in a trailer together, and it's the other four girls. They're toasting to Mandy. Caitlin, who's one of the other girls, is like looking over at Shelby, and she's like, "What's up with you, sourpuss?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know. I feel weird. No one's ever moved away before. Like Tony Hernandez did. Yeah, it doesn't count. He was deported." Jayla's like, "Well, whatever. We need to find a new roommate now. Someone who can like handle all the bills and boring cramp that Mandy did." So I guess Mandy was, before moving out, the responsible one of the group.
Yeah.
And that's when Erica.
Also, that's a single wide trailer. This is no shade on trailers, but we need another roommate. It's like, there's already 4 of you in this trailer, which is 2 people too many in a trailer.
Yeah.
No. You see, there's the Florida trailers, and Florida trailers are longer. So they have more bedrooms because families live in those. Like those are like 2 or 3 bedroom trailers.
I've seen trailers like that before. This does not feel like that size to me. This feels like the kind of regular trailer that does not have that many, enough bedrooms for 5 people.
Take it from Gordo. He defrauded a bunch of these.
I did.
Gordo did carpetbag Florida after a major storm and take a bunch of their money.
I didn't carpetbag them. I did do their roofs. Like, I did complete them. I wonder how they're holding up, but I did do it.
You did them?
Yeah.
Poorly. They're holding up poorly. That's just, I'm just going to tell you right now.
Over 20 years ago, they should replace them by now anyways. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm sorry to inform you, but your footprint in Florida is now gone.
This thin layer of tar should last us 40 years.
Erica, who's one of the other girls now, is like, "Oh, I already moved my stuff in. I took $5 from my mom's wallet," and she flipped out. "I can't live with that bitch anymore." And then they all kind of get into this, moms are the worst. Moms suck. One of them's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jayla. I guess Jayla's mom is no longer with us." And Caitlin, Caitlin's the harder exteriored one of the group, I guess. She's the most physically dominant as well. And she's like, "Oh my God, how long are we going to have to keep apologizing for having moms?" It's like, "Sorry, Jayla, my dad died too, and y'all don't care." And it's like, "Yeah, but that's because none of us have dads."
This is the first laugh, though, where the other girl is like, "Yeah, but your dad loved you too much." I fucking laughed out loud and was like, "Oh, that's just a terrible joke, but that's so fucking funny."
Erica's dad, apparently, we don't know exactly what he did. And then there was this weird thing where Shelby's like, "But did y'all know that dads are like why monkeys evolved into humans? Because the dad would hunt and then the baby would get more protein and their brain got way bigger?"
I mean, technically.
I mean, this does feel fairly rooted in something solid.
Yeah, kind of. As a guy who watches prehistoric podcasts a lot.
As a guy who types AI porn prompts into AI for cryptid, you know so much about this.
No, I mean, yeah, the meat enabled us to. The meat enabled us to have our brains grow, like to a degree, but that's not. I that's all I know. I don't know the science or anything behind it, but that's the theory.
Eating raw meat's fine. It's good for you. It makes your brain grow.
Well, they were eating dinosaur meat and like fucking saber-toothed tiger meat.
They were not eating dinosaur meat.
Woolly mammoth.
Yeah, I think dinosaurs came and left before humans, right? That's sort of the evolutionary timeline.
They had big-ass birds, though.
Ass birds?
Ass birds.
I mean, Florida has bugs as big as birds, so that sort of tracks too.
They do.
And that's not throwing shade again at Florida. That's just like, you're in Florida sometimes and you're like, is that a bug? What the fuck is that thing?
Did I ever tell you about the time I had to shoot a spider?
I don't think so, but I can 1,000% imagine.
I had a screen. I'll make it quick because I could see Jay being very annoyed right now.
It's not Jay's speed, so he's over it already.
So we had a screen porch, right? Like a screen, like, I don't know how to describe it, like a sun porch area.
Screened-in porch.
Yeah. So after a storm one day, the screen was kind of pulled in, and I noticed that there was something like fucking big, right? And I had a gun on me, because you do when you're in Florida, and I see this fucking thing that's like this big crawl up and over it, and I went, and started just shooting my gun. I didn't hit it, but I shot at it, and it still came at me.
But you hit the neighbor.
Well, you know, it's Florida stuff.
Wildfiring into the abyss, Florida.
Yeah, but it turned out it was a banana spider, and those things are fucking horrifying, and they're huge. And it was like literally no lie, like this big crawling at me. It was like something out of fucking a video game.
Next time I'm grumbling while shoveling, I'm gonna think of a banana spider and be like, "This is fine. I'm not mad anymore."
Yeah, look up a picture. They're horrifying creatures.
They're called armed spiders, too.
Don't love that.
Maybe you needed a gun.
It was big. It would have hit it if I had accuracy.
I like thinking that there's like a Southern Raffi who sings the song "Banana Spider."
Ring, 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 ring.
Well, getting back into this, right after the conversation they're having about dads that aren't around and their moms, they're like, all right, we got to get going. They all head out of the house. Erica, you can see, is wearing like a mermaid bottom, which at the moment we have no idea why.
I love that she has to hop in it. Also, like, you can change at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the funny thing about this is like, I've had work before, like jobs before where it was like you have to wear like the work thing, and like I'll usually change when I get there because you're doing stuff in the day and you put your work stuff on when you get there. I feel like if I had fins and a flipper, I'd probably put that on at work.
I feel like this is also something that we need to get Gordo in for the summer to take a photo shoot at some point.
Hell yeah. I'll buy it.
Gordo, if we can get you in that, I will walk up with my dick out.
Hold on. I don't want that in the photo.
Or I'm going to mail it out as Jay's Christmas card to all his friends and family.
Listen, go to S1E1pod.com, which will link to our new OnlyFans, and you will see the Mermaid Gordo Joe Dick shoot.
Hey, Gordo, while you're trapped on the beach with your legs tied together and you can't run, I'm going to approach you with my dick out.
It's a bar thing. It's just a bar thing.
So they all leave. Next scene, we cut to Barnacles, which is apparently the bar that most of them work at. And it's a bar that's like in Clearwater. And we cut inside. And first you see some like shots of just the patrons. It's not like a cool bar in the area. It's definitely where some like older Florida men hang out.
This also felt like this was clearly a PBR sponsored shoot. Like everybody is drinking PBR Tall Boys. It's the only thing you see.
The local cheap beer. Not local beer, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like their resident, like, cheap tall boy that's available for like $2. Yeah.
And I'm sure it rotates, right? Like we've all been to bars like that where they're like, today's $2 tall boy is whatever, right? It's whatever.
Yeah, it's usually that, or it's going to be like a High Life, or it's going to be Narragansett up here a lot, you know.
Even though it tastes like blood.
You think Narragansett tastes like blood?
I think Narragansett is like one of the most disgusting tasting beers of all time. It tastes like you just cut yourself open and took a shot of blood.
I agree. I think it's disgusting.
Compared to PBR?
Do you think it's better than PBR, or what would you say?
Do you think PBR is better?
I do. Yeah, I don't like PBR, but I think it's better than
I'm not a PBR guy. You know what the funny thing about Narragansett is? In Narragansett, like we live in Boston, and Narragansett is only like an hour away from us. If you go to the actual like Narragansett brewery, they brew a bunch of good tasting beers, but their flagship is just that one we all know. It's like, so you can do better, but I guess like when you're making this thing for 100 years, you can't stop. That's the flagship beer that's in the stores. So
I'm not judging it. I love garbage beers. I literally will only drink the 2 Millers, right? Like that's what I drink. I'm not judging shitty beers. I'm just saying I think that particular beer.
I've never gotten a blood taste. But no, I find it funny because they've actually made some like very nice tasting beers. And you go, how's this the same company?
Lemon Shandy, I remember not being bad.
But anyways, in this bar, it's kind of your typical like rundown, like dive bar on a beach. And we can see that Shelby and Caitlin work behind the bar. And then they're talking about like, well, Shelby saying, I can't believe we still work here, like at this dump. And Caitlin's like, dump? What are you talking about? Barnacles is the shit. Meanwhile, she's like elbow deep in like a vat of maraschino cherries, I think it was.
Yeah, I couldn't know if it was that or
What the
pickled eggs.
fuck?
Like it's a quick shot.
Her arm was all red. Her arm was like dyed red, so I assumed it was the cherries.
Also, that's not the bar you go to and order a mixed drink where they're going to put fruit in it. That's the kind of place you go to. You're like, what do you have in a can or a bottle?
That's for can cracking, yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby's like, yeah, when we were 19, this place was the shit, but now it's just kind of sad. Like, what's sad about it? And then, like, you cut over and you see Erica, who's, like, getting in a tank. That's why she's in the mermaid bottom. So I guess, like, at Barnacles, she just stands in a tank her whole shift as a fake mermaid.
I will say that one of the better fucking bad bar names on a TV show, Barnacles, is sort of like the perfect name for that
sure.
establishment. You see it and you're
Yeah.
like, I know exactly where we are. This is so good.
But, like, do you think Erica's job is to just stand in a tank for an entire 8-hour shift?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And while she's in there, you see Nini, who's another girl who apparently works there as a mermaid, who's currently pregnant. It's like hopping in as well.
That was a nice touch.
The quality of mermaid they have. Although Erica, although they dress her down a lot, Erica is like a stunning like model, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard thing with these shows, right? Like, you have to take a bunch of very pretty women and make them look not... Like, that's the game of it, right? Like, it's a hard thing where you're like... Sometimes it doesn't work because you're like, well, you're just trying too hard to make these people not look.
Yeah.
But it's also realistic, too, right? Because, like, that's... Every shape of and color of people are going to be from there and, like, fall into whatever the category is of dress and meth or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could be like objectively a beautiful human being, like aesthetically, and then still grow up in this type of surrounding and ending up, you know, just like everyone else.
End up with your nickname being Crystal Meth, which is usually not a good sign for a nickname.
So now Shelby's saying to the girls, like, what if we went back to school and got out of Florida like Mandy did? And Caitlin's like, oh, come on. Like, you're such a sheep. Just trying to be like lame ass Mandy. She's like, we're staying in Florida forever. And she like exposes her, I think it was supposed to say Florida Forever tattoo, but she never got it done.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it did say or how far along it had gone.
It was Florida something. It didn't say forever, but it was, I guess, part of forever. It was not a quality tattoo. Shelby's saying, yeah, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't even afford to finish your tattoo. Like, oh, well, you got me, Shelby. Sorry, I'm not a billionaire. That's one thing I know people who have done this, but the idea of having unfinished tattoo for years and years, like I could never do that.
No, I've had like when I did part of my sleeve, I had just like black and white and like the shading, but like and then let that heal. And then I went back into color, but that was like a month or two.
Anytime I did like a big project, I'd have at least a handful of appointments set. And then if it took more, we would kind of work from there, but with the goal of getting it done as soon as possible. And I get there's like financial restraints and stuff, but like in this case, she has a tattoo that you could get done in a couple hours tops. So there's no reason for it to be like an unfinished tattoo.
That's an hour tattoo for sure. Yeah. If you've got somebody who's good at script tattoos.
So she went in with like $50 and was like, just do as much as you can for this amount and I'll come back later when I have the rest.
Which would you'd hope be like 25 for the tattoo and 25 for the tip, because that's how that works too, you know? I don't have any of them, but I'm not throwing shade on it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a very interesting thing that I think is changing. Our generation, we're very big into like script cursive tattoos. That's another thing with like, we're talking about like kids don't drink. Like that's something that like kids definitely don't. Now kids just get like a bunch of weird, very small tattoos.
Yep.
In like random places. They're never going to have like Corey down their arm in like cursive or whatever, right? Like that was a thing our generation loved doing.
See, I wouldn't say that necessarily to be the case. I would say the thing I noticed more, well, I mean, it might be. The thing I noticed more generationally, is a lot of like the younger kids now, the younger generation from us, are more fixated on getting tattoos in visible locations first.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I walked into a store the other day I've been to a number of times. I don't know if I brought this up or not, but like the girl, I pegged her at maybe like 25 or so, right? And like no tattoos. And then all of a sudden had a tattoo over her eye of like a knife. And it was like fresh because like, you know, you've like the like tattoo goo on where you can like see it from a mile away because it's like shining. And I was like, your first tattoo was a knife on your eye? Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. And cool. I'm not judging it, but I'm like, holy shit, that's a weird first
Whenever
choice.
I see like your lower arm covered before your upper arm, it's like a weird thing. Like my brain doesn't operate that way.
I've always gone under the auspice that I need to have multiple tattoos that people couldn't see unless I was naked to make up for having tattoos in places you can see. And then I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, well, if I wore shorts and tank tops, you'd probably still see them. But since I don't, it counts. Like, I'm never going to wear a tank top or shorts, so it doesn't matter.
Kids these days, am I right? But
Thank Post Malone for that.
I'd hate to agree with you. There's some truth to what you said.
I will say, though, if you want to get, like, because, you know, people say, like, oh, tattoos don't hurt. We're like, that's a lie. Fuck you. Tattoos aren't fun. Getting tattooed sucks. You deal with it, but it sucks. Imagine getting your first tattoo and being like, just do over like my Adam's apple, like do my whole fucking neck. At that point, somebody being like, I'm going to go in your armpit. It's going to hurt. You'd be like, I don't care. It's fine. I've already gotten my fucking throat tattooed.
I won't do my neck just because my chest hurt. Like where I have my dragon.
Ferocious dragon?
Yeah.
Dragon? So that 8 minutes really hurt your neck, huh?
No. But I can only imagine like the pain on like your neck. And like that, everybody who's had one has said that's not a fun place to get one.
I've watched someone get a throat tattoo before, and they were a person with a ton of tattoos, and they looked like they were in the electric chair. They were like clutching the sides of it, and they were miserable. It's like, I don't want that.
My personal rule is I would like to be able to wear like pants and a dress shirt without you seeing anything.
I actually have the most tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican, but tattoos.
Oh, whiteface.
Yeah.
No, Nick's like the what is it, the Yakuza? If they have the body suits.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't tell, but Nick takes his whole pants off, and you're like, oh my God. He also has half a finger and has murdered several people.
Nick, do you ever wish you had gone back and gotten that Godsmack tattoo?
You know, part of me does, genuinely. I mean, it's an anchor in history. I mean, it's a dumb tattoo for sure, but it's a part of my life that I remember now.
I always tell people, there's a lot of people who just like overthink what their tattoos would be, and I'm like, you never really regret them. To me, like there are things I would do different as far as like spacing and sizing. Sure. Like I kind of wish like because I could fit other things differently, but like that's my biggest regret. Like other things are just kind of signs of the time, and then the more tattoos you get, the more liberties you can take. Once you have a lot of tattoos, you can get dumb tattoos. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, you can just put dumb shit anywhere you want. Here's
my Texas souvenir. It's a shrimp in a cowboy hat that's saying howdy.
Yeah, go to put that up to the mic.
Actually,
oh my God, it dies.
Before podcasting was podcasting, Gordo and I did a show. Gordo got tattooed on that. He got a chick and a duck on each calf.
And I also got a finger mustache.
Live on the show. Oh, yeah, you got the finger mustache there, too.
Yeah, tattoos like that, when you already have a handful, are like, it's not a big deal. If that's your only tattoo, it's like what the fuck?
I feel like there's a line you cross, too, when you have enough that you can be like, somebody's in town and they're like, do you want to get like a dumb matching tattoo? And you're like, yeah, fuck it, I do. Right? Like, because you just can at that point, yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm not sure I'd ever get one at this point. Like, I've made it this far. Like, what's the point?
Cover your back.
Yeah. Gordo, when are you getting a skibbity tattoo?
Oh, you're getting skibbity toilet? Are you going to wait for the movie so you can get a movie skibbity toilet tattoo?
You know, people need to go to S1E1pod.com and buy some t-shirts if they want to see Gordo.
If that's not what we're going to put the money towards.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could do a skibbity toilet with Garfield coming out, and Garfield could be the skibbity toilet. And he could say, I love lasagna and hate Mondays.
Yeah, so we can get sued and not sell any shirts.
We should do Heathcliff because he's the better orange cat. And also, like, I don't know who owns Heathcliff, but they're not suing us.
I think Hanna-Barbera does.
They're both dead.
To cut this off and move forward, because this is quite a moment in the episode. While they're talking about tattoos, you just got the Jesus, Rick, no. And you look over and Rick is just this dude who's hanging out near the bar with his dick out.
Now, did you guys laugh? Because I'll never not laugh at a dick out. It'll always make me laugh.
Yeah, that was funny.
The way Rick played the character, I like the way he handled things like that.
Rick coming back, trying to sneak back into the bar, and then them just being like, you have to leave. And he's like, see you tomorrow. Like, yep, see you tomorrow. Like, that's
He's
so
like, yeah,
fucking
you
funny.
caught me.
He comes into the bar and pulls his dick out every day at women in a tank in fucking flippers. It's so funny to me. I'm sorry.
When they're saying to him, like, we've talked about this, Rick, come on. He's like, you're right. I ignored you and I'm sorry. Like, the way that, like, he handles being a sexual deviant and talks the way he does. I did think that was funny.
I also now, again, as being somebody who's never exposed myself to a stranger, I always assumed in that scenario you'd want to show your best self.
Maybe he's not a grower. Maybe he's a shower.
I just feel like if you're going to flash somebody, you're like, huh? What do I got here? I feel like you want to, like, I assume you'd want to.
Go ahead.
I just don't think a flaccid dick is attractive. I think it's very funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you show a guy, I'm sure if you show anybody who's attracted to penises across the board, a flaccid penis versus an erect penis, most people would be not turned on by a flaccid penis. That's what I'm saying. A flaccid penis is like a weird fucking thing, you know, it's just like a dumb thing you have. I could be fans, let me know. Listeners, please let me know. If you think a flaccid penis is a thing. Oh, this is weird, actually. Email Gordo. Let Gordo know what you think. Tell Ferg. DM Ferg.
Yeah, DM Ferg. Yeah, don't DM Gordo.
After Rick leaves, Shelby's like, see, like, maybe if we got our GEDs, we wouldn't have to work at this bar and see Rick's dick twice a week. Get some real careers. And then Jayla, who's been sitting at the bar, I think she's just the only one who doesn't work there, so she's just hanging out. It's like, I don't want a career. She's like, this is where we find out that she's like just dating an older guy, Harold, who's 57, and he's got money. So she's just hoping that he's going to propose to her.
I mean, that's a pretty solid plan.
And when you find out what he has his money for, I was all for Harold.
Yeah.
Also, is Harold in more episodes?
I don't think he's past this one.
Because he's the only notable actor one of two that I saw on this show. And he's in the show for a half a second.
When he drove by, I popped so hard.
Shelby's saying, like, I'm serious. I feel like we need, like, a change or something. Like, all we do is, like, get hammered and do dumb crap. And, like, as she's saying that, she's, like, looking at her arm, which is in a cast. And then Caitlin looks at her and goes, you can't blame alcohol for being a bad rollerblader.
You blame rollerblades for being a bad rollerblader.
My girlfriend just started rollerblading.
Really?
And has busted her ass numerous times now. It's a dangerous pickup there. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't suggest it.
I have been in a drunken bicycle accident.
For Father's Day, which as we record this was a few days ago, I went to a skate park. I haven't skateboarded at a skate park in maybe 20 years. And I thought I was flying a little too close to the sun. I was like, I can put my phone in my back pocket. Like, I can do whatever. Aside from getting very winded and feeling very old afterwards and being like, what are you doing at pizza now? I can't barely stand up right now. I didn't kill myself and I didn't fall. I caught myself every time I slipped and I was able to do some, I wouldn't say impressive. I was able to not kill myself at 39 and still skate at a skate park on ramps.
You spent your Father's Day wanting to impress your 1-year-old. Look at daddy's sick moves.
No, it was very classically, the farmer's market is next to the skate park. So we can go to the farmer's market while you go to the skate park.
Oh, it's the haggle.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to go to the farmer's market?
But then they came down and I did put her on a skateboard for the first time and I like held her arms up and we skated a little bit. And that was a very sweet Father's Day moment.
Did you show her your sick ollie?
To be fair, I did some of the best ollies I've done in years because I like figured out a little run where I come off the side of a ramp coming down a fun box and I could get like an ollie like a couple feet in the air without killing myself still. So that's enough for me. That's all I want.
Oh, that's good.
And there was no kids to make fun of me, which is what happened last time I went to a skate park, which was right before COVID. I went to a skate park and there was just kids there being like, old man leave. It's like, all right, we gotta go.
So the other girls start talking about like maybe things they could do to improve on themselves. And Erica's like, I mean, I guess I should stop stealing from people. I don't really do that anymore anyways. It's like, I still do it like gas stations or if I see like an Amazon package. But like, if I don't take it, someone else will.
True.
I walk a lot and I see people's Amazon packages just sitting on their porches and I'm never gonna steal anything from anybody, but I'm always like, oh, that's gonna get stolen. Like, it's the first thought I have.
When I lived elsewhere, there was a point where I was getting my packages like routinely stolen, but that was so long ago. And also, I feel like now, like you have to be so ballsy to steal packages, knowing that like
Ring cameras
are on like most houses now. Like it's just so risky.
I know where I live, like because it's just faceless, big apartment buildings, like shit gets fucking stolen all the time.
Yeah, at one point when I lived like at the place I used to, I would have all my packages just delivered to my mom's because like I was tired of dealing with it, and I would just pick them up after work, which would suck modern day because I think I have packages come in almost every day, so it would be miserable now. But back then it wasn't as common.
We have like an indoor-outdoor porch, so like most the mail and the packages go in there. But for some reason, just FedEx will leave them outside. So like you have to watch the tracking like a hawk because of like the weather or something like. But it's happened where it's like a package with like a record, and you're like, I don't want to get stolen. But it's also happened where it's like bed frame or something. And you're like, you could have rang the bell and I would have helped you. Now I'm alone trying to drag this thing up over my stairs. What the fuck, man?
That's because of the shitty snacks you leave out.
You say that. We leave out very nice snacks for the letter carriers and mail people, and they're all very appreciative because most people don't do that. Thank you. It actually got me out of getting a longer conversation with Jehovah's Witnesses recently.
So Jayla's talking about ways that she should improve on herself. She's saying like, oh, I mean, I could be a little bit classier. Maybe then Harold will want to marry me. And then she's like, guys, he's so rich. Shelby's like, and you love him? Yeah, absolutely. But he said he wouldn't marry me. He thinks I'm super fine, of course, but he says I need to grow up.
This is a sad thing, though, like, because we've all met those people who are, like, so delusional in a relationship where, like, this person's going to come and take me away from all this. And you're like, I don't fucking think that's going to happen.
I mean, if you marry someone and they happen to have a lot of money, like, what a bonus.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not an uncommon thing. There are definitely plenty of people out there who marry for money or their standards severely change when money is a factor. But I don't think that's enough for me to change my other standards around.
I mean, it has to be a lot of money. I don't think when we find out what this guy does, I mean, it's perfect for the show, right? Like, it's a great addendum to the joke for the episode. But like in real life, you're like, geez, Louise.
And then as they're talking about this, they're like, has Harold even got you anything? Like, because they're referring to him like as grandpa. She's like, would a grandpa give me this? And like, she like shows them her necklace that's like, it says like, for my princess. Like, yes, it's exactly what a grandpa would give you.
That's a fucking really funny joke, right? Like, it's not like my boo. It's the kind of thing an older guy. And when you think about too, we know this older guy from sitcoms from the 80s, right? We like, you just brain start doing your age to him. We were like, oh, yeah, he is a grandpa now.
And then as they're having this conversation, Rick sneaks back in and they catch him and tell him to leave. He's like, all right, you caught me trying to sneak in. That's fair enough. I apologize. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But it does seem like, for whatever reason, Rick doesn't get a lifetime ban. It feels like he just, every day they give him a new chance. And every day he just follows it.
I think this is like a weird collection of misfits and they all sort of coexist.
Because it was never like, Rick, we told you to never come here again. It's like, Rick, get out. Like,
it's like kind of like Florida in a nutshell. Rick's Florida.
Yeah.
Rick is a Florida man.
Yeah.
And then after he leaves, Erica's like, Rick looks good.
I think that's a really fucking funny line. I laughed really hard at that.
So now we go back to their house and we see Erica sitting in a kiddie pool outside and like at the same time, Caitlin's just in a chair with her feet in the pool, just trying to keep cool. Then we cut inside. Shelby's in her room and she's sitting on the bed with her taped up laptop and she's looking at a GED registration for like $200. As she's looking at it, she calls Mandy and it goes like straight to voicemail. And you hear Mandy's the one who moved away. And you hear her voicemail going like, what up, bitch? It's your girl, Mandy. Leave that damn message, though.
I feel like Amanda is one of those names that like is very generational to us, right? Like we knew a million Amandas, a million Nicoles, right? Like they're like those names that were very popular. And again, a million Michaels, right? Like there were names that we knew 1,000 people in school with the same name. I don't feel like I come across very many Amandas anymore.
I don't know what the popular names are these days.
It's like those like son names. Mason.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like, this is my son Waller, or... No, what's weird is I expected more like Barack, or more like...
What? No.
What?
Well, but he was such a cultural icon at the time who people were fucking wearing shirts with his face that said Hope on it. Like, I thought that would become a name, you know, like, because usually names will stem from something culturally. I thought there'd be more names like from that grouping of people at the time.
I mean, okay, I can see it.
This is my baby, Saddam Hussein.
Uday, Kusei.
I made an Uday reference the other day. I'm so glad that he's like a cultural reference. It's like the best Nepo baby ever. It's a fucking nightmare human with a funny desk.
Funny desk, yes.
So Shelby leaves the message after the answering machine, and she's like, "Hey, how's Ohio? You did it. I was actually thinking about getting my GED. I was just looking for you to tell me like I could do it or something. Tell me I'm like smart, right? Call me." And so that was her first attempt to call Mandy. Now that Mandy has left the group, essentially.
That was sad.
No, I mean not necessarily at this time.
She could be traveling. She's asleep. You don't know.
She might not even be there yet. Like she just left. She's going to Ohio from Florida. So I mean, it's not like she was getting in the car for an hour.
It's halfway across the country.
But I wanted to ask you guys. Like you guys did your GEDs like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what kind of cost was included in that back in the day?
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't expensive.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but
Was there classes or do you just pay for a test?
you just pay for a test. You can take classes. I didn't take classes because I basically did it immediately after leaving high school. And I did take a pre-test that like can gauge on what you might need to work on. And I passed it with, flying colors, surprisingly. And they were like, yeah, you'll be all right with the GED. And I passed it.
I just bought a book and I just did it kind of front to back. And then I went in and took the test. I think it was like $50 or something. I don't remember. It wasn't a lot.
Now you guys both like furthered your educations beyond that after getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that if you don't have a diploma, it's worth getting a GED if you have no intention of going to college?
100%.
If you don't intend on going to college, yeah. I mean, so many places require
For jobs,
that,
Just to have it,
that level of education. So at least, right? So if you don't have a diploma, then you need to prove that, you did something else. I get it. Like it makes sense.
I mean, you see all the time too, where it's like high school diploma isn't even, or equivalency is like not even a thing they put anymore unless you're doing something very manual, right? And like we've all done those jobs too. We're just saying like that's like usually what it is. Like you can't even, when we were younger, you could, right? Like you could work your way up into a job. I think it's a lot harder now.
Yeah, this is also 20 years ago, right? That we did it, or when I did it. I don't know. I don't remember when you did it, Gordo, but
2005.
Yeah, I did mine 04 or 05, and from what I understand, it's gotten more difficult to do now. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, we did it. I think you and I did it like the year before they made it more difficult. Because I remember like being so stressed out about it and being like, I was like freshman year. That wasn't bad at all.
It was basically just like an aptitude test, pretty much. Well, no, the written part I remember spending a lot of time on that.
See, I liked writing, so the math was the hardest for me.
Oh yeah, math was always the hardest for me.
To get back into this, we cut outside and we're back at like that kiddie pool area where the other two girls are. And it was funny. The more I was looking at their setup at this point, I'm like, I know this is like meant to be kind of trashy, but they got the little pool going. They got a TV, a boombox, like on a hot day.
No complaints.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect, like, no responsibility in your life type of summer day. You're like, I have the day off. I'm in a kiddie pool. It's full of tall boys. Music's playing.
Especially if you're with a few friends, you know what I mean? Like, you could make an entire afternoon of that.
Yeah.
The landlord walks up and he's like,
my favorite fucking character.
I knew it. I told Kelsey, I was like, Gordo's gonna love this character.
He's an interesting looking dude.
He looks like a thumb.
Yeah.
He does look like a thumb. Daryl. Look, what he says right here, this is typically not my humor, but I just didn't expect it. And when he retorts to them, I laughed so fucking hard we had to pause it, and I had tears out of my eyes. And my wife was like, it got you, didn't it? I was like, yeah, it got me.
So to clue you guys in, he walks up to the girl. He's like, turn that off. I'm trying to work. And Caitlin's like, tell you white trash piece of crap. You can cook meth and listen to music at the same time.
I prefer to.
Yeah. He goes, you can suck my left nut.
Fucking floored me. Dude, like, grabs his dick too. At the same
I know.
It's so fucking
But
funny.
also, too, what
Holy
makes
shit.
it even funnier is his voice. Is A, he looks like a human thumb, and B, he talks like this.
Yeah, he's got a very high-pitched voice, which really makes it funny. And he's wearing like a tank top and like, it's so fucking
Maybe
good.
we should make that the clip this week for your television clip.
I was greenlight the second he said, suck my left nut. I was on fucking board. I was laughing so hard at this scene. This poor man is so fucking funny. And it's just like, some people are just funny. Like Buddy Hackett was funny looking, right? Like Don Rickles is funny, but he's also funny looking, right? Like it helps. Gallagher is funny and funny looking, right? Like sometimes like the aesthetic of it just works. This dude who's like a producer and has done some TV stuff, like, but not a huge, he's not listed on the fucking IMDb for this episode. That's the person I was talking about. I was like, where the fuck is Daryl? He's the funniest part of this episode.
So he kind of looks like a good representation is, have you ever seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force? He kind of looks like Carl.
Yeah, I could see that.
He looks like Carl and who's the mustard tiger from fucking Trailer Park
Bill
Boys?
Collins?
Yes. He looks like a fusion of both of them.
Philadelphia Collins. Bam!
Peanut butter and jam.
Shut up, Phil.
He kind of looks like Miami Vice era Phil Collins. Which is Florida, so that tracks.
So Jayla walks out and she's asking Caitlin if she could borrow her flat iron. Like, wow, you look good. She's like in a white suit. They say she looks like a black Melania Trump. And they're telling her, oh, don't straighten your hair. She's like, I have to. It looks classier that way. And then she's being told, we only think that because the media stuffs all this whitewashed garbage down our throats. And Caitlin's like, ew, God, we get it. You read. Caitlin's very like, I feel like Caitlin does enjoy being just like trash in Florida.
She does, for sure.
But she loves it. And that's fine. But because of that, like anytime a friend of hers is trying to like better themselves, she like resents them for it. Because it's ruining the good thing that she has.
And I get that, right? That's fear, right? Like your friends leave, it sucks. Like you don't want especially if you enjoy your life, right? Like you don't want anything to change in it.
You don't want anyone to leave the party. And it's like, I wonder, because that's the vibe I get from this character. It's pretty consistent to me. But then I'm wondering, like, was it intentionally written that way? Or does it just happen to be how she's acting? Like, you wonder how much, like, layer is actually put into this character.
I will say, too, like, even with a flat iron, I feel like you're fighting against the tide. You don't want your hair to get frizzy in Florida. Like the humidity is so thick that like your hair in Florida, my hair curls up, right? And I have fairly straight hair. Like it's just that humidity is gonna
curl up your hair.
Yeah, like it's just impossible to fight against it.
So she's saying that she has to do this. It's for Harold. He has health insurance and a 2-car garage. And Erica's saying, I've been working on my stuff too. I haven't stole since yesterday. And she's like, that's my bathing suit, Erica. They do this joke a lot.
This joke is a little overdone.
This one I felt kind of got under my skin because it was like, I understand the world we're painting here. And like, even if she's a klepto, but the way the dialogue worked for this whole she steals stuff throughout the episode felt a little too goofy. It was like, it wasn't realistic enough. Like, as funny as this show can be, like, something about the Erica stealing jokes just didn't land with me.
She needs one per episode. Also, as somebody with health insurance and a 2-car garage, I did not realize what a catch I am. So watch out, Tinder or Grindr or wherever I go.
So you guys are all being so lame. It's so embarrassing. And she looks at Shelby. She's like, what about you? You gonna get your GED and ditch us too? Like, I don't know. I read that the classes are like $200. Your school costs money? That's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's fair.
It is pretty lame.
Fair. If you're thinking about like public school, right? If you think about grades K through 12, right? Like that's insane to think of. But it does cost money because we pay taxes for it.
Exactly. But if you're in private, you're paying like $6,000-ish a year.
Yeah.
For like elementary school.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Shelby's saying like, well, I could pay for this Visa gift card my dad gave me for my birthday. And then right as she says that, the power boots down. It's like, what the hell, did Daryl turn the power off? Daryl ends up coming outside back to where they were. And he's like, yeah, guess what? The bill was due yesterday and you didn't pay. So you owe me $70 and I ain't turning it back on until you pay me in full.
That's a shitty job too. Cause if you're like, this feels different than if you're like the super of a building, right? Where like the power company goes to your room and they turn it off. for your apartment, right? Like that's not on the super. They're just like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't pay your bill. You have to pay your bill. Like you pay the power company yourselves. It feels like in the trailer park, this guy has to pay all of the bills and be reimbursed for it.
Yeah, it seems super annoying.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare job. Yeah.
After that, it cuts them all back in the living room and they're all like hot and like fanning themselves off. I'm like, why wouldn't you just stay outside if you have no power? The last thing you'd want to do is shuffle in.
I mean, at that point, you're in Southern Florida in the summer. Like
the scene felt sticky. Like just watching them made me feel like I needed to shower.
It's not a fun feeling being that fucking hot and humid. You can't move. Like it's just like it stops your body.
I hate it. I hate being hot. I put my AC in like absurdly early. I like to run cold.
Yeah, I'm a sweater.
Whoa.
So they're all trying to like pool their money together to see if they have enough to get this shit turned back on. So Shelby's like passing the hat around and you see like everyone's putting in money except for Erica. Erica's just twiddling her thumbs around, trying to pretend like we had her fingers in there.
But isn't here where the joke would have been that she would have stolen some money?
Yeah.
She's got her hand in a pile of money and doesn't steal any. They make the joke that she steals all the time, and this is the one scene where they don't make the joke, which is weird.
So they dump all the money into the middle of the table, and they have a total of $6.30.
That's pretty bleak.
A little low for three people to pool their money in, knowing how much was supposed to how much is needed to pay the bills.
And we know 3 of them have jobs. That's a tough amount of money to pull up.
Especially we saw the barnacle. It wasn't packed and it didn't look like there were any big tippers in there, but usually a couple girls working the bar all day. Like amongst the 2 of you should be pulling in enough cash to, in a pinch, be able to turn your electricity back on for $70.
I always try to think of the dumb things where a personal bag of Doritos or whatever now is $2.89 or something, right? We're food things are expensive now. So to only have $6 between all of them where you're what are you going to eat? Food costs so much money now. How do you make this work?
Yeah.
It used to be that you could buy the grocery store brand frozen pepperoni pizza for $2.49 and even if it wasn't a lot of food, 2 of you could eat that night, you know what I mean, and then split it, which I used to do all the time when I was super fucking broke. Now I don't even know what you would do.
We've also talked about the era of the dollar menu. That was a staple across fast food, and now it's just value menus. Dollar items don't really exist.
No, we broke it.
Yeah, I think if you walk in with $4 to any fast food place now, you're eating a lot less than you could have.
Oh, when we were younger, we would drive up to the Wendy's, and I remember you'd be I'll get 3 junior bacon cheeseburgers and 2 4-piece nuggets, and that'd be $5. And it's
$5, yeah. And you had beer, so you didn't need a fucking Coke or whatever, yeah.
I think at Taco Bell, you can still kind of get good bang for your buck. You can go and save $10 at Taco Bell. You can get a bunch of tacos.
I am a Taco Bell enthusiast, and I tell people the trick is forget the meals on the wall. You got to start with whatever's in the box. You got to get the box meal that has whatever the hot item is of the season with the burrito and a taco and chips and a drink. And you start there and it's moved up. It's a $7 box now. Get that. Get a couple of things from the dollar menu, whatever, or cravings menu. You're going to spend $10, $11. I'm a big dude and I can eat at Taco Bell for cheap.
Yeah.
But you got to start with the box.
As a person who has a lot of food allergies and things, I'm so glad I didn't when I was much younger and much more broke, because I don't even know what I would have done. Because now it's well, I got a loaf of bread. It's okay, well, that was $9. Well, fuck me. It used to be your loaf of bread's $2, right? Now I can't do that.
My biggest Achilles is and you can get the same cheese at arenas and stuff like that. That crappy queso that you can get at Taco Bell with the chips.
Yeah.
I could drink that shit. I love that.
Go to
stuff
7-Eleven.
so much.
Pump a whole bunch over free if you want.
That's what I used to do.
I'm well aware. I gotta stay. I can't overdo it. I save it for the moments in the arenas and stuff like that where I can enjoy it, where it's not weird to be enjoying it. If you're having nachos at an arena, it's okay, but if I'm eating nachos alone in my car in front of a 7-Eleven, it's a little different.
Yeah. You're at a hockey game. Fuck it. Go for broke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, we spoke about this before, and I'm no stranger. I've had a few slices of pizza from 7-Eleven before. But aren't you always embarrassed to ask for it? It'd be just
No.
this, and you have a couple drinks. And I'm yeah, I know, a slice of pizza. It's like,
No, I never, honestly. Like listen, it's not just a hangover thing. As far as pizza goes, 7-Eleven pizza is not even close to the worst pizza you could get. It's not great. It's not great pizza, right? But if you're like in passing quick something, like it's good. It's cheese, it's bread, it's sauce, and it's fine. It's really okay.
so as they're talking about their money stuff, Erica goes, "Oh, why don't you use your Visa gift card?" Holds it up. She's like, "Why do you have that in your pocket?" I don't know, holding it. So again, back to the Erica stealing thing. Are we kidding? This is all we have? Did you notice Shelby's "Are you joking me" right now? I've heard this being used before, but I remember in wrestling, the Iconics used to use that. But instead of "Are you kidding me?" "Are you joking me?" Is that regional? Do they say it like it down there?
I've always heard like, "Are you joking?" I wasn't there in 2010.
When Gordo was stealing FEMA money, they didn't say that back then.
I wasn't stealing FEMA money. It was a good, honest
Gordo's
day's
gonna get
work.
sued from this podcast.
Dude, do you know how hot it is down there working on a roof?
I'm sure you earned the money. I just don't think the source was maybe sourced properly.
Gordo's just on the roof, like stapling Wendy's bags to something.
It's actually quite easy to repair your roof, and I would do it in Massachusetts if the roofs weren't 30 feet in the air.
Gonna say, I need a new roof, but
I would
couldn't
gladly
that
do
myself.
it, but it's too high.
Yeah, I can see your brother giving it a crack. I'll fucking do it. I don't give a
Gladly, if he wants to.
You gotta nail down like fucking like rabbit ears so that you don't like fall off the roof and you can get like footing. Like it's crazy.
I'm not a heights guy.
If you watch it now too, it's usually a crew of like 14 fucking
Yeah.
guys, and they strip it and they fucking do it, and like they do 3 a day. It's wild.
It was my uncle, myself, and his other nephew, Mike. And Mike was like a master carpenter. But yeah, we'd have to go up beast mode it and you could only do it in certain periods of time because the sun will get you or it'll rain.
Oh yeah, you must start really early, right?
Yeah, you gotta start at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, 'cause you want like the 2 p.m. fucking rainstorm in Florida.
Yeah, that's lunch.
So now Jayla's like, "Hey, we need to figure something out quick. Harold's coming to pick me up later, and my hair's jacked, and my eyebrows are sliding off my face." Caitlin's like, "Just give Daryl the gift card, and then he can turn the AC back on, and Jayla can straighten her Brillo." And Jayla's like, "Girl, like, why you always call your hair Brillo?" "Yeah, I can call my hair Brillo. It's my hair. You can't do that." She's like, "Well, you're always saying." All right, and then everyone starts arguing in this conversation, and while that's happening, this is another attempt for Shelby to like sneak out. She goes into her room, and again she tries to call Mandy. Again, it goes to voicemail. Only this time we find out that Mandy has changed her voicemail. And now when we hear it, it says, "Hello, you've reached Amanda Young. Please leave a message and I will return it as soon as possible." So that whole, "Yo, it's Mandy, leave a message," like that's gone. She is now acclimated in Ohio. She has her new "I'm moving on" voicemail. You're seeing that she's trying to get away from being Mandy and step into being Amanda.
I feel like they try to make her a villain, but this is not a villain move. This is somebody who is
just gonna say the same thing. Yeah,
this is like they're like picking themselves up and moving on into a better position. Like you can't be mad at them for being like, "I don't be fucking Mandy more," and say, "Yo, fucking answer my phone."
I wouldn't say villain. We're seeing just through the message. Like, I don't think the message itself inherently makes her bad, but we are seeing that she is avoiding talking to one of her lifelong best friends. She didn't get the call the first time and clearly used her phone to change her voicemail. So, I mean, you can't text one of your lifelong best friends back.
I mean, that is bad, right? Like, we've all known each other our entire lives, right? Like, I can't imagine a situation where I'd ignore.
Yeah, I would not treat you the way Joe's mom treats him.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Mom, I know you're not listening, but answer my texts.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking figured out the trick, by the way, though.
What?
FaceTime. Did it the other day. I did it on Friday. FaceTime. They assume the grandkid is involved.
Yeah.
Nope, just me.
Nope, Chuck Testa.
I need to borrow $10,000. Like, wrong number.
Shelby leaves another message, heads back to the living room. She's like, "Mandy's ignoring my calls." Caitlin's like, "I knew that stuck-up idiot always looked down on us." Again, Caitlin she seems to have issues with people who do anything to just kind of leave this lifestyle. She's like, what? She loves us. She's our best friend. She was, and then she got a GED and got real bougie. And she's like, yeah, she changed her voicemail to sound more professional. And Jayla's like, ooh, that's a good idea. And she picks up her phone. You've reached Jaylandra Sparkle Williamson. I'm currently at my career right now, but leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Sparkle's a tough middle name.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't use it, but middle names are so they're so seldom, you use them if you want to use them. But you can go your whole life without anyone really knowing your middle name. So it's like, it's whatever.
You never bring it up.
Well, if you guys had to choose a middle name, what middle name would you choose?
We kind of did, confirmation, right? We all chose a name for confirmation.
My middle name and confirmation name are the same.
Smart man. Never forget.
I didn't get confirmed.
I think I chose Anthony, but that never comes up. It's not legally anything. So it's like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mine was Ronald, which is my grandfather's name, but no one's ever asked me about it since 2002. I don't know. It's never come up.
yeah.
And I've spent the last 25 years really railing my thoughts on the Catholic Church, so I don't think they're going to ask me about it ever again.
I didn't get confirmed, so I didn't get to choose, but
I love Gordo. And again, not to get too political or too religious or whatever, I love that I am confirmed and you are not. That is the funniest thing ever, where I'm like, I hope there's a hell so I can go in there. And you were so religious. You're like, I wasn't confirmed. Which means if by your rules of religion, I would get into heaven and you wouldn't. That is so fucking funny.
It's true, yeah.
And also, I'm not going to give them the Iggy and let you in. I'll be like, let them burn.
I can take the class. I think they do it on Thursdays. So, unfortunately...
Are you going to get your church GED?
It costs $200 too. I think it actually does cost money. But we record on the days that the church does it, so...
Well, we can always pivot if it's for the Lord. If you really need, we'll figure something out.
We didn't
for
this
you.
week. You got this Thursday.
True.
Yeah. Gordo, is your wife confirmed?
Of course, yeah.
Then you should be fine, right? I feel like you're grandfathered in.
Is that how that works? Is it like heaven citizenship?
I assume so.
I married one. I'm in, right?
I'm an anchor angel.
Yeah.
Got that green card to heaven.
So now the girls are trying to figure out how they can get all these things done because they have no power. We need Wi-Fi so she can sign up for her GED, and Jayla needs power so she can finish straightening her hair.
Here's what bugged me about this. This could have all been accomplished at a McDonald's. Go to a McDonald's, use the Wi-Fi, plug your fucking hair thing in, boom.
I was at the grocery store the other day and made note of become Hannaford guest. It's it's everywhere. Yeah, everyone has free Wi-Fi now.
Wi-Fi for sure. A little tougher with the hair straightener, but I guess you can run in the bathroom.
Go to a truck stop.
There's the entire point of this episode is based off of something really dumb and unnecessary. I feel like it was a lazy plot point that could have been more interesting.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment. So they say to Jayla, hey, can you blow Grandpa Harold for money? She goes, hell no, I'm trying to marry him so I can suck his dick for cash for the rest of my life. So is she withholding on any dick suckery until marriage in hopes?
That's not a good move.
I imagine there's going to be some.
I imagine she's not
know.
holding out completely on him.
Yeah, you got to give a preview.
I interpreted their relationship like they were already doing stuff.
It feels like this is a very physical, heavy relationship, yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was more side piece than anything.
And now they're asking Jayla, well, what about your actual grandpa? Can we pawn something at his shop? And it's ooh, what about my gold bracelet? Again, it's that's my gold bracelet, you klepto, and it's fake.
See, this one is okay, but if you eliminated the 3 before it, I feel like it works, right? Because you're mentioning going to the pawn shop, you have an action for the thief.
Yeah, it's just, again, though, it's you knew you stole it from her, but Erica's still oh, we can use my bracelet, but you're standing next to that person you stole it from. You can't be that dumb that you would bring that up in that case. It just makes it unbelievable.
But I guess, again, they're going for the character is that dumb. She's the dumb friend of the dumb friends.
The Ferg, if you will.
And then Erica's oh, I figured out what we can do. Someone owes me money. Crystal meth. She's living at Big Dave's. We can go there and make her pay me. And they're oh, perfect. And I can straighten my hair at Big Dave's. Yeah, and I can use this Wi-Fi and sign up for my GED. So now they're on this They're basically heading over to Oz, where all their problems are going to get solved.
I think we all know into this scene, though, that if you are owed money by somebody named Crystal Meth, you're probably not getting that money back, right?
It was very bold of them to assume that this was going to solve their problem.
So they all run out. There's a shot of them heading out of the house to the car, done in like slow motion while terrible music's playing again. You see Erica has a whole armful of things to charge, like a dustbuster and a vibrator.
Look, I got to check a lot of the things she wanted to charge.
Yeah.
Also, it was like an old school dustbuster, too. It wasn't like the modern, like, shark vac. The battery of that thing is so sad. It's like, please kill me. I've been going since 1987. Stop charging me.
I busted so many dusts.
So they get in Shelby's car. She's in the driver's seat. She has to blow into a breathalyzer to get the car started before they head off.
Which I would imagine would be hard. I don't know if anybody has any reference point for that, but...
I have a little insight. I don't want to say exactly when in my life, but I will say at a time in my life, I will not say when, I did have to use one of those at one point in time. And they are, listen, it's funny. One thing I didn't know about them is like, from what we know on television, you blow in the thing to turn the car on and you're good. And you'll always see in television, like, oh, I'm drunk, blowing this for me or whatever. But it's really not that simple anymore. Like, they've evolved those things over the years.
And it's time, too, right? If you do it, like, at certain points.
Yeah, it'll go off multiple times, like, while you drive. And when you drive, you have to do it immediately. And, like, if you don't, it sends a report, like, digitally to, like, the headquarters or whatever, that you missed, like, a breath check. So you have to, like, constantly be using it. And now they put cameras in them, too. So...
Oh, wow.
I can't be driving with you in the passenger side and have you blow in the thing every time, or it's going to know that you're using it. So, I mean, it's come a long way. Probably back in the day it was easier.
I'm not the world's best driver. Sometimes I'll like pull my like water bottle out, take a sip and be like, oh, Jesus, I can't even imagine having to like breathalyze on the highway going 70.
Yeah.
I would just kill so many people.
Listen, again, speaking from experience at one point in my life, it's super inconvenient and it's tricky because there are times where it's tough to like, it's distracting.
Yeah, it's distracting driving. Yeah.
And you have to be like listening at all times for the thing to beep. And then while you're doing it, sometimes like you don't do it quite right and it doesn't like take and a message will pop up. So now I'm like reading the thing. It's like, it's a great way to keep your eyes off the road.
And like, there's weird caveats too, right? Where like you eat a fucking banana, it might think you're drinking, right? There's like weird things that like pop it and think it's alcohol.
I remember when I had to go through all that and asking, and that came up. When it's getting installed, I'm bringing this stuff up, these banana and stuff stories that, you know, I think you had told me that one.
Yeah, another friend of ours had been popped for it where like they stopped his car and he was like, I ate a banana, it's 6 a.m, I'm not drunk.
And I asked thinking almost the guy was going to go, no, that's not real. But he's like, oh, yeah. Don't eat this, and this. So now you're like paranoid. So now like, anytime I knew I had to drive, I'm petrified to eat anything because I don't know what's going to trip the thing.
It's like, Jay, you want pizza? But like, no, it might read his booze.
Honestly, I didn't want to eat anything because you never knew like certain foods, like,
Yeah.
certain types of foods could just trigger it. So it really took the joy out of eating in my car, which is one of my favorite pastimes.
Again, I'm not a car eater because I just like, I can't multitask that well at my life, but I imagine it'd be a bummer.
Doesn't taste good. Kind of hard.
What are you eating in the car?
He said he's not a car eater.
Oh, the car itself.
Oh, right.
Waka.
Yeah, oh, shh, there it goes. There it goes, boys. Joke.
Herbie the Love Bug loves when I eat her. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, yeah, that's because he's over 80 years old, so.
Gentle, loving.
Well, anyways, yeah, do not recommend. Make better decisions. Now we get to them like driving, and Shelby's going, you guys ever like listen to these lyrics? Are they bad for women? Like, what? You're stoned. She's like, yeah, you're right. And then she starts singing along to the song again, and that's when you hear her go, if she get in my car, she's sucking my dick, and she already know it.
Dude, this song fucking sucks. This is the stupidest song ever.
I did not even do, it's funny, because usually in these cases, I'll do the extra homework to be like, oh, what is the song?
Same. Didn't look it up. I was like, I don't fucking want to give this person credit. Fuck, this song's so stupid. Again, can you imagine being like, I got a beat. I got lyrics, don't worry. If she's getting in my car, she's sucking my dick, and she knew it. Like, fuck, dude, what is this
From
shit?
my limited experience in producing hip hop, yes, I can imagine that.
How about your limited experience of driving cars and letting people into it? Is your assumption that people are going to suck your dick and they know it?
No.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's a fucking crazy thing to say. It's a crazy thing to think. And this is the kind of shit where computers are bad. Like, everybody in the world was like, I can just write a song and, like, record it. Like, that's not a good thing. Like, there's good about that, but there's bad when this is the outcome. And then it gets broadcast over what previously was the TV Guide channel, and some people might hear it.
You know what makes me like so angry that I'm almost at a point of enjoying it? You see the advertisements for the app where it's like you sing into the phone and it turns it so like you're perfectly singing songs you like. So the guy's like listening to himself sing Alice in Chains and he's just sitting in the room crying. He's so moved by it. Forget what app it is, but like all
I
the
know
ads
it.
are corny.
I've seen that on Instagram too.
I haven't seen that ad, but anybody who's moved by singing Alice in Chains from AI is a person I don't want to fucking talk to.
Use code S1E1 when you download it.
I mean, look, download the app, sure, just don't sing fucking Alice in Chains. Look, oh, we have an album with a dog with 3 legs and the cover's green. Boring. Grunge is so stupid. What is with the millennials and the Gen Zers liking grunge? That should have died so fucking long ago. What a boring genre of music.
I don't fully agree with you. I do like some of it.
I like some. Not a lot, but some.
Did you guys hear that new Temple of the Dog record?
Spoon Man's good.
That's Soundgarden, but also no, it's not.
Soundgarden is considered grunge. They're in that genre.
They are.
No, I said Temple of the Dog isn't Spoon Man.
Oh,
But Soundgarden isn't a grunge band to me. They're a Led Zeppelin cover band.
no. Anyways,
This is going to be a fun one to see the comments on the music stuff. I really enjoy when this stuff happens.
so we're getting some continuation shots. Like now we see them driving along. We see the area they're in. And again, it's like not the most savory of areas. And they eventually head up to Big Dave's house. And they walk into the living room. He's sitting on the couch with like a buddy of his. He's like, oh shit, man, I ain't seen you girls in a minute. Y'all remember Vicky, right? And then you just cut over to Vicky who's like sitting on the floor spitting. Is that what she was doing?
I have no idea.
So at first I was like, this is so weird. And then I was like, no, this is just perfect for the environment. I think they actually nailed this. It's not, you'd see a different version of this in most TV and movies, but this just weird silent girl on a sleeping bag in the middle of the living room floor spitting is just way more realistic than I think we're used to seeing. And I kind of give them credit for this because I think they did nail it.
No, this feels very real. It also feels like they just walked into ICP's trailer.
Big Dave feels super familiar, but I can't quite peg him. You know what I mean? But the character like felt familiar to me.
The character type, I think, very much reminds me of, I can't remember his name, but in Superstore, the boyfriend who's like the white rapper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whatever Pemberton plays him.
Yeah.
He also reminds me of another trailer park, J-Rock.
It's
A little harder, J-Rock.
Is that Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
He's asking the girls like, oh, like anything I can do for you guys today? And yeah, we're looking for Crystal. And he goes, oh, you didn't hear? She's dead. They're like, what? Yeah, man, she got hit by a truck. They go silent for a minute, and then he just starts laughing. He's like, I'm kidding, dude. Y'all see your faces?
I love this because you could believe these characters would have been hit by a truck, right? Like, you don't, it's not like a
Imagine if that's just how the episode ended, and it was just like, oh, well, that sucks.
bum, 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 bum. I don't know. You're like, okay, I love this show. Yeah.
And then it's like, no, I'm just kidding. She's not dead. She's at the dollar store. She's like, you guys can hang out, though. And then did he say have some crew to take? He meant charcuterie. It sounded like he said crew to take.
I think he was saying crudité,
Yeah, I think he's saying crew today.
but also I think you're no selling the she's not dead, she's at the dollar store, which I think is like the funniest. Like, that's like if I saw a biography at the bookstore that's titled as she's not dead, she's at the dollar store, I'd be like, I mean, I might read this, right? Like, there's something there.
Is crudité a term that I just don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crudité is like a term for like vegetables on a platter.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was like a veggie platter.
Yeah, that's what a crudité is. That's
Oh,
like,
so he said the right thing.
he said the right thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking this is a multi-layered idiot joke. I thought he was saying like he couldn't say charcuterie, which that wasn't charcuterie.
Nope.
And I thought he was just saying his version of it.
No, I think the joke here is that it's funny they have a crudité where you wouldn't expect that. Like they wouldn't have like a veggie platter set up, yeah.
So somehow I'm the idiot.
I think just because you were like, well, why wouldn't it be meats and cheeses? Like it's like, well, we have eggplant parm. Be like, well, why wouldn't it be chicken?
So he's trying to sell them some weed while they're there. And it's like, oh, check it out. Like, look at all the crystals in there and all that purple. And she's like, would you ever take a gift card? And they're like, what? They're like, oh, you're right. So already, like, Shelby, who's on a mission to get her GED, was about to just blow all that money on some weed.
I'm not a weed person, but that looks like a fuck ton of weed. That looked like, I would assume, more than $200 worth of weed, right? That's a lot. That's a giant bag.
The jar or the bag?
The like bag he holds up that he shows, because it's like a big, like.
Didn't he hold up a jar of weed?
I thought he held up a jar.
Oh, I thought he held up the baggie of it.
But yeah, I mean, long story. That's probably about $200 worth of weed.
It's wild living in a time now where it's just like you just go to like a weed store. Like it's a wild thing to think about, but like just went to the weed store.
I know. I was just trying to think of it. The last time I went to the weed store, I bought, it was like $140 worth. It was 24 grams. I don't know. I'm bad with the math on this. But the prices fluctuate now. Like, you can wait for sales on weed now. So, like,
Yeah.
It's like, you get, like, the email. It's like, oh, $5 for this kind of whatever. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going in. And then you can stock up.
Like what used to be the Circuit City flyer when we were kids, where like TVs are on sale. Yeah.
Yeah, it legit. It's the same thing.
The last time I went to a weed store, I bought a thing of weed soda because I was like, I can handle this, I think, and had a legitimately out-of-body experience and was like, no more weed. I can't do this anymore.
I have never embarked. It was never my thing.
How do you know? You've never tried it.
I have an addictive personality, so I don't need to add to the list and just see how it goes. So
Yeah, I remember the time you were like, can I try a cigarette? And the next day you were like, I sat in my car and took 2 packs of cigarettes last night. And I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't do this anymore.
that's just that's how I am. That's how I've always been with a lot of things. I try to not add to the list. Whether it be it's not just substances. I'm impulsive with spending or eating or a bunch of things. There's just a point we go, I don't need to like play the game. I'm not curious enough. So why bother?
Weed wouldn't help your eating either.
No.
I thought it would help my anxiety. Turns out very much the opposite.
It depends on the person. It seems to be like it goes one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Joe. You really, really have to regulate your intake.
Yep.
Like I don't have a buildable tolerance. Like it doesn't matter how often I smoke, my tolerance never goes up. I can always smoke too much weed and get too high and have like a panic attack. So I'm like, before bed every night, a couple pokes, I'm good. I never go more than that though.
So anyways, at this point, Shelby's asking, hey, do you have any Wi-Fi here? He goes, no, I steal the neighbors though. The network is Church Granny 42. And then he's like, and the password is N-words, Jews, and queers. And they're like, what the fuck?
I fucking love this joke because my guess is the 42 is her birth year.
Yeah. He's like, I try to talk to her about it, but she's a very closed-minded old woman.
And then you get the redeeming quality of this drug dealer who's like, I tried to fucking talk to her about it, man. I don't know.
I'll say this. Big Dave seems like nothing but a good dude.
Yeah, Big
Throughout
Dave
the-
just comes off great in this.
I just realized who he reminds me of. He reminds me of the fourth guy in Workaholics. You know, that guy that's always around. He's actually one of like the creators of the show.
Joe Dirt in the dirt. Yeah, that guy fucking rules. Yeah.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he reminds me of this guy.
They all head into basically the area where he like grows all his weed in. They're all plugging their shit in and going on the internet and everything.
This is a crazy room too. It's like wall to ceiling weed plants.
It was an impressive room for sure. I like when they walked into, wasn't Vicky our class president?
Do you guys have a lot of plants in your house that you take care of? Like, I've got 3 in my office that are my responsibility, and I've just tried so hard to keep them alive. I've got 1 cactus that has moved with me, so it's been alive for at least 5 years now.
I can't keep plants alive. I can't keep fish alive. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't do it, and so I've kind of given up. We have 1 money tree that's it's far from flourishing, but it's still going. It's good. But I don't know. I struggle with it, and I don't really know why. Like, I can grow, like, vegetables, but, like, when it comes to, like, the common house plant, I just fucking murder them. I don't understand why.
I feel like vegetables are cooking a meal and plants are
Like baking.
baking. Yeah, where it's like, it's specific, it is ratios, yeah.
This is when Crystal Meth walks in. I was wondering, like, do you think she accepts that as her nickname? Like, do people call her Crystal Meth to her face?
I think so. I think we gauge from this character that she's fine with that nickname, yeah. Now here's a question though, is her name Crystal?
That's what I assumed. So she walks in and she seems pretty happy to see the girls. Like, hey, what's up? You looking for me? Like, I live here now. And that's when Erica's like, yeah, about that money you owe me. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You owe me $100. You took my Molly last year and I stole you that guava ween costume.
I had nothing here.
No clue.
And then she's like, you better quit with that whack shit. And then they start shoving and get into a fight. Yeah, you know what? Crystal doesn't seem like the bad guy in this situation.
If this was I stole back my necklace, she'd be a villain. But this just seems like they attacked this girl and steal her shit for no reason, so she's not.
Yeah, it's like you owe me money because you took my Molly, but like it doesn't sound like she sold it. I don't know. I don't know the situation closely enough, but they didn't make a profound case to make it where like seemed like Crystal cut and dry owed her money. It was like you owe me money on a technicality because I did things for you that saved you money.
Also, as an old man, is Molly just ecstasy? Is it just like a different term?
I thought it was just straight ecstasy.
Is it like MDMA or whatever that stuff is?
That's ecstasy.
I'm not the guy.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
MDMA is just the medical term for ecstasy.
Ecstasy, or I don't sound like a fucking narc. Like I have no idea what I'm talking about, but like I have no idea.
I've only done Molly once, so I don't know. It's not my preferred drug of choice.
I just remember feeling like, you touch a zipper for 5 hours. Like, why would I do that drug? Like, why would that be a thing I wanted to purposely do?
Molly is the street name for MDMA.
Okay.
It isn't MDMA, just ecstasy?
Ecstasy, also known as MDMA.
Okay.
So yes, it's just a big interchangeable.
It also feels like a thing now, too, where, like, I don't know if we were in high school and someone was like, do you want some MDMA or Molly or whatever? I'd be like, I wouldn't do it, but I'd think about it. But now I'm like, who fucking knows what's in that shit?
Yeah, when I had it, we did, like, parachutes.
In your butt?
No. You, like, put it on a little piece of toilet paper and kind of wrapped it up like those bangs, flash bangs that we used to, and then you just swallow it like a pill.
I'd rather swallow a pill than a toilet paper bomb. Why were you doing that? Also, the old person in me who used to do drugs back in the day is like, why wouldn't you just snort that, you asshole? Why would you go through the effort of swallowing a toilet paper
That's what the
bomb?
person I was with told me how to do it, so I didn't question it.
How many parachute deaths were there of people who choked, not even getting the fun of the drug, who were just like, well, I got 3-ply. I wasn't thinking.
It's Quilted Northern.
Yeah, the bounty bear fucking killed you.
The two start fighting and everyone's yelling in the process. Big Dave comes in and like breaks it up. He's like, stop it. You're all acting crazy. Crystal, I'm so disappointed in you. You were doing so good too. You want to go back to the streets? No. He goes, well, you're going to be the change you seek, girl. Again, Dave, I like Dave.
Dave seems like a positive force in these lives.
Yeah.
The disrespect in this house. You all need to go. He kicks them all out. Like, dude, no, I can use your Wi-Fi. He's like, no, it's too late. Like, you should have thought of that before you got all buck wild in here.
I love that term.
Proper response, too. Like, you started a fight in my house. You can fucking leave.
Yeah.
They're all taking off, and then, like, Dave spots that, like, Jayla's, like, hiding because she's trying to straighten her hair. It's like, nope, I found you, Waldo. Yeah, get out. You gotta go.
Is Waldo a character we feel like we're losing for children?
I wouldn't know. If they might still sell the books at, like, the Scholastic book fairs.
I feel like you don't hear much about Waldo anymore.
But, like, would we have heard about Waldo when we weren't kids?
I mean, as somebody with a kid, I feel like Waldo does not come up that often.
I always think about our McDonald's in town before they took it away from us. They had the Where's Waldo underneath like that glass tabletop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they are still actively being published.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
I mean, good, right? They should never be out of print, right? Like, there's always an audience to show that to your kids. I just haven't seen it or heard it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's just like, it's a good, like, cognitive skill, like, book.
We've hit that point now, too, where, like, books aren't just reading anymore. They're, like, reading and waiting for call and response. It's like that sort of stuff. Like, where is the zebra? Where is the panda? Right? It's like, those books are important.
So they all jump in the car. Everyone's still a little riled up from what just happened. While they're talking, Erica's like, well, at least we're not going to have to worry about money anymore. And she's like, shows that she ripped the necklace off of crystal meth. So everyone's like pretty excited.
They all cheer super fucking hard.
Yeah. So they get this gold chain. Everyone's really excited. And JLo's like, oh, my granddaddy will definitely buy this. And they're saying how it's going to be worth at least the $70. They're all cheering, but then Shelby has to blow into the breathalyzer again, and it goes completely silent for a minute, like while she's doing that. And then like after a second, when she's done blowing and it eventually beeps to say that it's all good, they like just start cheering again. But they were like waiting on pins and needles until then.
Did anybody else feel like this was like I was like thrown like this was like a red herring where it's like, oh, did she have a beer in there or something?
Yeah, I didn't really get why that they were worried.
Because you can see the joke too, where it's like they're all gonna go, but the car won't start. It's like a different direction. Like in a choose your own adventure of this episode, you could see that being part of it.
It almost would have been funner if it didn't, like if they didn't expect it and then it just doesn't work. And she goes, what? I didn't think it would go off if I had one.
Right. And then they have to walk to the pawn shop. Kind of a better scene, yeah.
From there, though, they drive. The next we're seeing, they're arriving at JLo's grandfather's pawn shop. And she's showing him like the necklace. He's like, we need to pawn this. And while that's happening, he like looks over and he sees Erica. Hey, aren't you that girl that sold me the busted TV? Oh, me? Yeah, that was me. Sorry about that.
Which is wild because you feel like the pawn shop guy would like plug the TV in before he bought it, you know? That's his fault. That's his bad.
Yeah.
He has to eat that one.
And then he gets on his granddaughter for hanging out with all these crazy ass white girls. And that's when Shelby's like, actually, my mom's black. He's like, no, what? Like, yeah, she is. And I guess in real life, her dad is black. So she is mixed.
She flipped it. And the grandfather in the scene, too, is George Wallace, the comedian, who's been a million things we would have seen, who's like a very big 80s comedian. He is in all of the Adam Sandler movies. He is I'm so mad Ferg's not here. He's the mayor at Little Nicky. He's been in a billion things. So those guys, when you see him, you just go, oh, that fucking guy. He's super funny.
The strangest thing is that, like, he's not listed on IMDb. So, like, this is something that, like, we're bringing to the masses here.
He's fully uncredited for some reason in this episode.
Famous comedian, fully uncredited. Also, Ferg. I'm making fun of Ferg and I'm, like, thinking about it. Jay, you mentioned earlier, the IMDb for this show is not right. It's, like, off. There's, like, just...
Like, they don't even have, like, the main characters, like, character names listed on here. Like, whoever did, like, it needs an edit.
I've never seen a like, incomplete IMDb like this before.
I've seen, like, smaller errors on, like, tougher to find shows sometimes that don't have a lot of, like, info out there. But, like, a show like this that was on, like, major television not that long ago in its original run, like, a fairly recent show that is still available on multiple streamers, like, it's kind of bizarre.
Honestly, I think we've hit a point where, unfortunately, IMDb has become a social media where you can buy your own profile. Like, you can get IMDb Pro and change your photo and do all this stuff, right? Like, we have a friend who works in movies on the production side, and he has an IMDb page. But he's never bought the license to, like, put the picture of him he thinks is the best up there, right? Like, that's, like, a thing you choose to do. But it seems like in a show like this, if I was one of these actors, I'd be like, I'm gonna pick the photo I like and try to, like, fill this profile out.
So back a decade or so ago when I was starring in Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh, what was that? The bad Ghostbusters movie? Was that the one?
No, it was called it was just called Ghostbusters. But I remember, like, legit talking to some of the people who, like, are extras who are basically, like, career extras who just, like, constantly find work doing that. And they have their IMDb's that they just update themselves. And they'll be listed in a ton of things, and it'll just say uncredited. And I mean, if that works for you, or maybe that helps for certain things, I don't know, but it's a thing.
You could go back and do it.
I have no desire to. I'm not like...
You should. And you could put us on there as something that you're
accredited to. That's not how that works.
To.
Again, it's so weird to have to explain simple things to you sometimes.
I will say this, though. Something I don't like is that IMDb has added podcasts as a category. I don't like that.
I wonder if it's like the criteria is like if it's a video and if it's on certain thing, like if it's on YouTube and there's enough hour of it, like
Internet Movie Database, like make an IMPD. That's fine with me. And like,
or you could get an IMPP.
So we'll think like you could put like if you were a YouTube original TV show and you made a TV show legit and it's on YouTube,
that's fine to me.
You could warrant that being on. So then the same platform is airing video. It's a gray line. It gets tricky in that point.
The worst thing ever is when you look up a wrestler. We were like, oh, I want to look up this wrestler's movie, like Roddy Piper, for example, right? If you look up Roddy Piper and it's like every pay-per-view ever, and you're like, no, that's different. Those shouldn't be on here.
I was thinking the same thing when we were like a minute ago before you even brought it up.
Are porn stars on IMDb like just for their porn movies?
Yes.
Really?
If they're like big, like from like a production company,
Like
or
Jenna
whatever.
Jameson, like that type.
Jenna Jameson, for sure, all of her movies are on here. If you look up especially like a porn actor who's like transitioned into non-porn roles, like Sasha Grey or somebody, or who's in all the John Waters movies, who had the underage porn movie that was like the big scandal in the 80s.
The Rocketeer?
It'll come to me. The Rocketeer is a Disney movie. I have no idea where it's... I went the one with the cartoon of the Nazis and rocket packs. Like, a man died to get this cartoon, do you? It's so fucking... I love that movie, by the way. I tried showing that to our daughter. Like, she's like just starting to get movies. We're like, we'll put on like Follow That Bird or something. I tried The Rocketeer. It did not take, but I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Jayla's trying to show her grandfather this necklace, and he's like, I don't want that. She's like, please, like, we need to pay our power bill. We're broke. He's like, I'm not interested. Like, this is different. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to marry my boyfriend, Harold. Like, that man owns 2 Applebee's. He ain't trying to marry your ass. Now we find out where he gets his wealth from.
I was literally at the Ocean State job lot this weekend, and I always check the like glasses section because they have like overstock restaurant glasses. I have like giant Pizzeria Uno glasses, and they had ones from Applebee's that said Brutus, but with a W, like beer Brutus. I just like looked at my wife, who's constantly like, no more glasses, and I was like, it says Brutus, and just put it in the cart. So now I have a giant Applebee's beer glass in my cabinet.
So she's begging him, can you please look at it? Like, we're really trying to fix our lives. Shelby's like, I'm trying to go back to school. And then you cut to a woman at the other end of the counter who's like looking at this like fucking huge gun. She's like, that's a goddamn waste of time. School's just brainwashing and bullshit. She's like, the gun was, I'm not a gun guy, so I don't know what it was, but it was
like a fucking 12 gauge shotgun. She was looking down the barrel. But who is this girl? I recognize her, and I can't figure out what she's from.
She tracked as familiar, but again, the IMDb for this is so hard. It was hard for me to figure out who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's driving me nuts. But she's been in things, and I can't think of what else it was now. That's annoying.
We've already got one IMDb mystery solved. We can't be solving all their mysteries.
Deborah's not on it, so that's another hiccup on IMDb this time.
Her name's Deborah?
That was her character's name, yeah.
Oh, you know who she is? She is also in Orange is the New Black, and apparently the voice of Patty Mayonnaise from Doug.
Wow.
Patty, you're the ketchup on my hiccup fries. Patty, you're the mayonnaise for me. Pops into this fucking episode. Is that the first Doug character we've done? I think so.
Well, it'd be tough to know off the top of our heads at this point.
Remember when Doug moved from Nickelodeon to like ABC randomly, like
Disney's
years
Doug.
later?
Yeah.
Everyone looked slightly different. You're like, what are we doing here?
Roger Klotz was rich.
He wasn't just like a guy with weird hair and a leather jacket anymore.
No, like BB Bluff. Something happened and like that his family inherited money from the Bluffs.
Too much world building. That's the difference now, as again, I watch a lot of these shows now for kids, and I'm like, the world building is no longer there.
In this show, she's Deborah, and Caitlin's yelling at her to stay out of it. She's like, fine, it's your funeral, dummy. Grandpa over there is going, all right, I'll give you $20 for this necklace. She's like, that's gold plated, 100, 40. This chain is at least 5 grams, 90. He goes, Jalandra, ain't nobody trying to buy no 7Z7 charm, $50. Like, it says 727. And that's the area code. Bitches is going to buy that. $80. Then he finally goes to 70, and she takes the deal. And then as soon as she like agrees on the deal, he goes to her, you know I'm going to sell this for 200, right? You got to learn how to haggle. Like, why would he even tell her that? Like, is he trying to make her better?
Yeah, I think that's him trying to, like, you know, again, I think by the line of, like, he owns 2 Applebee's. Like, he's trying to be a good force in her life.
So they get the money from this deal. They take off. And then we see them back home, and they're handing Daryl the money. And as he's, like, going through it, Caitlin's like, don't act like you can count, Daryl. Just turn our power back on. He goes, watch your mouth, you loudmouth bitch. Or what, Daryl? And he like, looks at her and turns the power back on.
I love Daryl.
Every moment of Daryl makes the show a green light.
So he turns the power back on. They're all excited. They go to celebrate. And then as that happens, Crystal and a car of her friends pull up. And she's like, all right, you shady ass bitches, you better give me my necklace back before we whoop your ass. They tell her, we pawned your necklace. Like, Shelby's trying to like prevent a fight from happening. It's like, Crystal, stop, listen. We'll get your necklace back, okay? Please just give us a little bit of time. And right as soon as she finishes the sentence, Crystal just like clocks her and like this awkward, like legit punches her in the face.
Yeah.
And like it actually felt like more realistic than how TV normally presents that.
Yeah, that's not the wrong move. Someone steals your shit and they're like, we'll get it back. Like, you still want to pop them in the mouth. Like, I'm on Crystal's side here.
So obviously a brawl breaks out. And like in the middle of it, like you just see Jayla finds a beer bottle and smashes it over this girl's head and does nothing.
I've been in fights before where like beer bottles have been smashed on people, and it is very much more like this than other things. Either it smashes and nobody's hurt, or it doesn't smash and you kill somebody. It's a weird scenario.
When it doesn't do anything to the girl, she turns towards Jayla, and Jayla's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. We cut back to Crystal, who's fighting with Shelby, and she's like, where'd you pawn my chain? She tells her where it's at, because it's $200. Like, all right, well, you better give me $200 then. Like, I don't have it. The fight's escalating. It's getting worse and worse. And finally, she's like, wait, I have it. She's gonna like give her GED money on the gift card.
Now, did anybody think that the plot twist to this was going to be that there was no money on the gift card?
The gift card was a weird, they never really explained. Like, I didn't know. Yeah.
That would have been fun. They could have did more with that.
I just think that, like, I hate how much money those cards make. Because, like, unless you go to, like, the grocery store and you're like, I'm buying $200 worth of groceries. Can you take $50 off of this? Usually you're buying something for less than the amount and you're trying to keep track of what's left on the card.
Oh, it's the worst.
These cards always have, like, $1.49 on them. And if you have 1,000 of those cards, that company makes that money back. And it's fucking bullshit.
Anytime I get one of those gift cards, I try to wait until I'm buying something big. So that it'll be more than the gift card, plus I have to throw in money.
It's the way to do it. The hard thing is you can't do it online. Like, if you do it like on Amazon or something, it doesn't work.
Because then it will decline it, yeah.
But if you got like Best Buy or something, you'll just bum out the 17-year-old and you're like, can you run 50 on this first? And they're like, oh, God damn it.
One thing about like the way this was written, it was so obvious, like $70. So they pawn the thing for $70. Now we find out like in the moment, I'm going to sell this for $200. Oh, $200, the exact amount that I have on my, on my card. So there's a lot of, it's obvious. It's, I don't want to say the episode's written bad, but it's really obvious how some of the stuff's going to pan out. But yeah, she gives Crystal the $200 gift card. The girls eventually take off. And then while that's happening, another car drives by, and it happens to be Harold, the guy that Jayla's been like talking about dating this whole episode. And he just sees her on the ground, and her like white suit is like covered in dirt, and she's all, disorientated, and her fucking hair is like partially straightened.
Just shakes his head and keeps on moving.
Yeah, he gives like that disappointment no shake and just drives off. She's like, that's fair.
I love that she understands, yeah. And this is Chris Williams, who isn't a million things, but Crazy Eyes Killer in Curb, and just a funny dude. You see and you laugh no matter what.
Yeah, he's always just the guy from Dodgeball to me for some reason. Yeah.
Dodgeball is the big one, yeah. Which is funny because his character in Dodgeball is so different than the Curb character. He's playing like a gangster rapper, which makes more sense in this episode, but he's not playing that either.
And then, as the fight is retreating and the girls are going to leave because they got the money, you cut to Caitlin, who's still fighting off two of the girls, like, at the same time.
Yeah, she's like double headlock going.
It's like, wait, what happened? We lost? I kind of like that. I like the realization of like, we lost? What the hell's wrong with you guys? I beat the crap out of mine.
I just think of the time that I think all of us were there. We got into like the legitimate street brawl.
Yeah, the Rumble.
The Rumble in Alston, where like every one of us got some shots in, but every one of us also got punched in the face. Like, is what happens in those scenarios. You're like, my jaw hurts, but I think I made some other guy's jaw hurt.
I tried to jump out of a window to join the fight and got like dragged in by my legs.
Yeah, because the window was broken.
Well, that's how much young Jay was trying to get involved.
I just love the scenarios because they always end with the cops being there, and you'd be like, everyone be quiet. There's 200 people in a house, and you're young, and you're like, they'll never know we're here. The cops are like, everyone fucking leave. There's clearly 200 of you trying to hide in a basement.
Yeah, I remember us all hiding in the basement. So now we cut to the girls at the beach. Man, I can't believe I thought wearing a pantsuit would make Harold want to marry me. And Erica's like, and I thought I was going to stop stealing, but you know what? I like it, and I'm good at it. It doesn't hurt anybody. And then you get, God, if Mandy looked down on us before, I'm glad she can't see us now. And they ask, hey, did she ever call you back? Shelby's like, no. And tries to call again, and now the number is disconnected.
I was thrown off here. I couldn't tell if the number was disconnected or if Mandy's phone was disconnected because she didn't pay for the...
Did she block her friends, her ex-friends?
I think so.
It doesn't make sense to change your voicemail if you're going to get a new phone entirely.
Maybe she just blocked all those people. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I don't know what happens when you get a blocked call. It goes right to voicemail, doesn't it?
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't even know how to block somebody.
So now Shelby's going like, what the hell happened? All of a sudden, I feel like I made the worst decisions and wasted my entire life. Mandy's going to have a career and a dentist. And I'm just going to get another DUI and die in a street fight. I was like, that'd be tight.
I love that response. Like, that's like the ultimate goal to their lives. Like, well, it's pretty tight. Yeah.
Caitlin tells her, yeah, I can't listen to this anymore. Just save your money and get your dumb GED. Like, are you actually being a supportive friend? She's like, no, shut up. I'm just saying you're like super smart or whatever. So if you want to waste your time learning math and all that other dumb crap, you can. Leave the raddest state in America. Just shut up and do it. And they're telling her, well, if Mandy could do it, you could definitely do it. Mandy's not even that smart.
Not to pull a Gordo's thing from him here, but like, if you had to name what you think is the raddest state in America.
Raddest state?
Oh, man. There's so many states that have highs and lows. Like, all the states that have things that I think are cool have a lot of things that I think are not cool.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a really lot of fun in, like, Tennessee, but I wouldn't call it the raddest state, you know?
I know. I would say just because that's where the language originated from, maybe California.
I mean, I've had a lot of fun in California, but I've only ever been in Northern California.
There's some not rad areas, for sure.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, that's where rad and, like, fucking cool, and that's where, like, all the cool shit comes from. Like, I don't know, maybe New York, but specifically New York City.
Again, a lot of fun I've had in New York City, but I don't feel the desire to go there.
Yeah, that's a young man's game.
Maybe Rhode Island. They're too small to have, like, an abundance of bad shit. Like, I know a good chunk of it, that's fine.
I know, I'm gonna go with, Maine is pretty rad.
Maine is pretty rad.
There's like 70% of it, though, that you can't even live in.
Yeah, that 70% is very not rad. I've been through all of it, and there's some scary places.
Hawaii?
You know what? I think I've never been there, but I feel like I could lean easily on Hawaii. That feels like one that you're like, who could have a hard time in Hawaii? Aside from every Dog the Bounty Hunter episode I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's all surfing and like fucking luau's and shit.
If you can afford it, right? Everything's imported, so it's not cheap.
It's actually not that much more expensive than Boston.
Maybe we can all just agree Hawaii.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So now Shelby's saying, like, thanks, guys. I really needed to hear that today. And then she's getting a little emotional. Caitlin's like, oh, God, what are you crying? Don't cry. There's people around. What the hell's wrong with you? And Erica goes, you know what? I've been thinking about something to do. Stealing the shit out of that jet ski over there. I mean, it's just sitting there. If we don't take it, someone else will. And then all the girls go like, yeah, and like run over to the jet ski. And now we just get like the slow motion. We get like the shitty music playing again while they're in like slow motion riding around the jet ski.
4 people on a jet ski, I feel like, goes very slow.
Then eventually we see the guy run up to the edge of the water on the beach and goes like, hey, get off my jet ski, you whores. And that's it.
This felt very much like the pilot episode of Eastbound and Down with the jet ski insanity with the quote-unquote whores at the beginning of it. I feel like, do you not just leave your jet ski, though? Do you need a key?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. There must be some sort of a key mechanism, right?
You just start the motor somehow, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the water, so I just don't know.
Yeah, but with all that in mind, that was the full episode, and we've talked about this for quite a bit, so want to jump right into the Green Lantern cancel. Again, Ferg's not here, so his pick will be included in a post you'll see later on our social medias at S1E1 Pod. But until then, going around, Nick, starting with you.
Yeah, so when I finished watching this episode, I was like, cancel instantly. Discussing it, I came around on it a little bit, and I don't dislike it as much. Having said that, it's still a cancel, though. it's got a lot of, it's just, there's too much work that needs to be done. There's funny parts. There's like a lot of good funny characters and moments. So it's why I'm not totally hating on it, but it's just, I don't know, just like overall doesn't really leave me wanting more. And it's just the storytelling and the pacing was a little, underdeveloped, I guess is the word I would use. Yeah, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but still a cancel.
Gordo.
This is also a cancel, but it's a soft cancel. It dragged. This show dragged. Daryl was funny. Outside of that, Rick was funny, but I didn't laugh a lot. I just thought it was very tedious in its writing. And, compared to last week when we watched 2.5 Men, where that did everything right, this did very few things right. So, cancel for me.
Joe.
I think to Gordo's point, 2.5 Men is very classic on a network sitcom, and this is a different, more modern sitcom, so I sort of take them a little differently. I agree there are some things that did wrong. I do not like the overindulgence on the I'm a klepto sort of joke. Like that, it should have been spread out, and that's like a funny joke every episode. That said, I did enjoy this way more than I thought I did. I had never seen or known anything about this before we watched this episode, and everybody in the chat was so down on it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking hate this, and I laughed super fucking hard a lot of times. I think Daryl stole the show for me. Suck my left nut. Like, it's not the kind of thing I usually laugh at. That's not my humor. And the fact that it made me cry laughing, because I don't know if it was him or the delivery or whatever it was, I would watch the next episode of this. This is weirdly, surprisingly a green light for me.
For me, I'm also canceling it. It came up at the very, very beginning of the episode. Just, it's not for me. I felt like the pacing was off. I didn't find it that funny personally. This really had the vibes. I mean, this show came out in 2019, but this really gives the vibes of an early 2000s MTV original. I don't know, it just didn't work out for me. I just couldn't get behind it. Couple moments that were mildly amusing, I guess, but just nothing I could see myself sitting and watching. So with that in mind, that's 1 out of the 4 of us. So regardless of Ferg's score, sorry to Florida girls, you're not getting the green light from us. I want to thank all you guys for listening. You can go to S1E1pod.com. That's where you can find all the links to our social medias. Everywhere else you can listen to us, rate, review, do stuff like that. We have a merch page if you want to buy a shirt. Also, don't be afraid to hit us up. Tell us shows you want us to cover. We love talking to you guys. Tell us just how you found us or how you feel about the show or anything like that. But with that in mind, we've been talking for quite a while. So want to thank you guys all again. Till next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think I got the best Rick's dick.